Thank you, Dennis. Well, it's certainly a pleasure to be back in Tulsa. Somos los mismos is the name of my exhibit. And everywhere I travel, I take my camera with me. And what I try to do with my images is to photograph Latino life in the United States. And what I try to say with my images is that we are all similar. We all share a lot of the same wants, a lot of the same desires. We're all also a lot of dreamers. We're business owners. We're students. We have one picture that's not in here. You know, I'm always looking for images. Every day I keep my mind open to finding images. And I remember a couple of years ago, my son and I went to a park. We go to a park every day, and these teenagers were practicing their quinceañera dance. And this happens fairly regularly at this park. And I was noticing that there was a 17-year-old girl, teenage girl, that was sort of choreographing them. So I got to talking to her. 17 years old, and she dreams of one day opening up her own dance studio. And you know, those are the kind of people that inspire me. Pancho Anaya and his family have a panderia here. We did a project for NALAC, National Association of Latino Arts and Culture. And the project was to document and interview Latino entrepreneurs in North Carolina. Well, one of the entrepreneurs was this woman named Estela Barnaby, who actually was from Mexico, but she wound up moving to California to have a panderia. Well, the competition was too competitive in California, so she moved to the south, to North Carolina, and started up a panderia. And I just realized, you know, that's what it takes. You know, it takes a lot of ganas, desires, and she's living her dream. Much like your family is living your dream here. And I'm sure, you know, I don't know too much about your history, but I'm sure that you started probably really humbly with maybe a small panderia. And like I said, I need to know more about your history, but I would probably venture to say that it started small. And maybe it started in Mexico. Am I right? Mm-hmm. So yeah. So that's why I say, somos los mismos. We all have the dreams. Whether it be in Tulsa, Tucson, Chicago, Durham, it's what inspires me to keep an open mind, and you know, I always have a fun time just running around taking pictures. I'm how would I say? I'm kind of a classic photographer. Classic in the sense that all the images that you see up there are filmed. This is especially this camera right here. I mean, several of the images that are on the exhibit are shot with this old 2¼ camera. You know,
I love that.
This is all filmed. This I paid $25 for this camera. The other camera that I use is another old camera, although this one actually has batteries and stuff in it, and you know, it's a motor drive. But even this camera is about 20 years old. Filmed. I'm really a throwback to the old time. I've been reading the new Vanity Fair, which has a cover of Scarlett Johansson. But as I was going through there, in the opening parts of the Vanity Fair, they have all these little things about travel, about what to buy, and this and that. And I was struck with this one page that had, it was a camera that they were pitching. I think it was a Sony, but also there was other things that you can buy, as they call them, apps. Apps. Oh my God, apps. They have an app that will mimic this camera. They have an app that will mimic the old classic photo booths that puts out those strips of pictures. They have an app that you can take pictures or put your pictures in that will turn them into, colorize them like cartoons. And I said, wow, I really am an old-style photographer. I take this film, I put it on my counter in my darkroom, which we built in the garage. It'll sit there for weeks, literally weeks. I've been waiting for this sort of busy period to get through with so that I can get in there and develop a film. I have about, right now, about, I think, 12 to 14 rolls of film. And that's what I love about film, is the excitement of developing the film. I think Juan was just asking me what has been my favorite picture with this camera, and I was telling him about how I shot an image last year of this construction worker, and it was more to do with shadows and light and everything. And the thing about digital is I could have very easily shot that picture with one of these apps on my iPhone or my whatever you call it, and look at it and said, oh yeah, I got it. To me, there's no magic in that. I love the magic of going into the darkroom, developing that film. You look at it like this, you know, still looking at it like this, or on the light table, but you can't really tell anything until you put it in the enlarger and then slip that paper into the developer. And there's that special moment right when the print is very latent, and then it starts coming up, and you're like, and it comes out, and you switch on the light and say, yeah, got it, got it, you know,
Awesome.
and then you move on to the next one. I just love that, you know. The term I use is delayed gratification.